Have you ever wondered why some people seem to constantly belittle themselves, undermining their own achievements, or even despise who they are? This phenomenon, a paradoxical enigma, is deeply rooted in the complexity of human psychology. It's not just a passing thought or transient emotion, but a chronic self-deprecating mindset that lingers, often leaving profound impacts on one's life. The term that encapsulates this mindset is self-hatred. This term might ring a bell to many, as it is an emotion we have all, at some point, encountered or observed in others. Self-hatred is an intense feeling of aversion or loathing directed at oneself. It stems from a convoluted mix of feelings and beliefs, and in many cases it is elusive, leaving the person feeling confused and lost. At the core of self-hatred are feelings of guilt and shame. A person may feel guilty for past actions, mistakes, or failures that they perceive as unforgivable. The guilt builds up, leading to a sense of shame. Shame is a powerful emotion that can isolate individuals, making them feel small, insignificant, and viewed negatively by others. In addition to guilt and shame, another foundational belief that fuels self-hatred is the notion that one is fundamentally flawed or unworthy. This belief is often ingrained early on, stemming from painful experiences, harsh critique, or lack of validation during formative years. This mindset of feeling flawed, combined with guilt and shame, creates a massive psychological burden that looks like self-hatred. It's not just a personal battle. It affects all areas of life, impacting relationships, career, and overall happiness. The person becomes their own worst critic, creating a world that is perpetually shrouded in self-loathing and negativity. Self-hatred is a dark cloud that looms, casting a shadow over one's life, distorting the view of self-worth and value. It's a heavy burden to carry, one that not only weighs down the individual, but also taints every aspect of their existence. The roots of self-hatred often burrow deep within a person's past. It is not a natural state of mind, but the painful result of a variety of factors that can accumulate over a lifetime. Influences that shape this self-loathing might be direct, such as physical or emotional abuse, or perhaps more subtle and insidious, like persistent criticism, ridicule, or expectations that seem impossible to meet. One common source of such self-hatred is childhood experiences. Children are like sponges, absorbing the environment around them and internalizing messages about their worth or lack thereof. And, unfortunately, these messages often come from the very people who should be nurturing their self-esteem, their parents. Not all parents, of course, but those who, perhaps inadvertently, create an environment where a child feels constantly judged or compared unfavorably to others. Take the case of Jane, a high achiever, brilliant and ambitious, who found herself questioning worth despite her accomplishments. Her story is all too common. Her parents, while loving in their way, often compared her to her older siblings who, in their eyes, had achieved more. Their constant comparisons were not meant to belittle her, but Jane took it to heart. She felt she was never good enough, that she was constantly falling short of their expectations, and this negative perception of herself seeped into all areas of her life, casting a shadow over her accomplishments and relationships. Parallel to Jane's story, there is John's. John experienced a different kind of pain, one born out of ridicule and body shaming. Throughout his school years, he was targeted and bullied for his slightly heavier frame. This constant torment led him to develop a deep-seated hatred for own body. His physical appearance, which should have been a source of pride and uniqueness, became a source of misery, something he despised. These stories of Jane and John highlight the complexities and the devastating effects of self-hatred. They show that it can lurk in the shadow of our past experiences, ready to spring, leaving us questioning our worth, our place in the world. It is a struggle, a battle that one has to fight every single day. And it is a battle that, unfortunately, many lose. But understanding is the first step towards healing. Or consider John, who was body shamed throughout his school years, leading him to develop a deep-seated hatred for his own body. In an attempt to cope, individuals grappling with self-hatred may end up resorting to different types of harmful behaviors. They may find themselves caught in a web of negative feelings, constantly questioning their own worth and their place in the world. This can be an incredibly devastating and volatile state of mind, often leading to damaging behaviors in a desperate effort to escape the relentless self-loathing. For instance, some of these individuals might overwork themselves. They may feel driven to bury themselves layers of work, believing that they need to earn their worth. This is a common response, as these individuals may perceive their value purely in terms of productivity and external achievements. They may dedicate long hours to their jobs, often at the expense of their mental and physical health. They might even deny themselves the necessary rest, convinced that they should always be doing something more, something better. This compulsive need to constantly prove their worth can lead to extreme stress and burnout. Others might resort to substance abuse, using alcohol and drugs as a form of escapism. They may hope to numb their pain and silence the loud, harsh criticisms in their head. The temporary relief provided by these substances can be dangerously enticing, leading to a cycle of addiction that is difficult to break. Substance abuse can have severe and psychological consequences, only fueling the self-hatred further. On an even more heartbreaking note, there are those who might resort to self-harm as a way of coping. This could take the form of physical self-inflicted pain, which serves as a tangible manifestation of the internal turmoil they are experiencing. The physical pain might seem easier to endure than the tormenting psychological pain. It's a desperate cry for help, a way to communicate their pain when words fail them. This is a heartbreaking reality for many individuals wrestling with self-hatred, and sadly, there are those who might inflict self-harm as a physical manifestation of their internal turmoil. But it's important to remember, self-hatred doesn't have to be a life sentence. It is a painful emotion that can be overcome, a burden that can be shed, a cloud that can be dispelled to reveal the brilliant sun of self-love. Self-love is a journey, a process of self-discovery and self-acceptance that can transform your life. It is not something that happens overnight, but with patience and perseverance, you can overcome self-hatred and learn to love yourself. One way to overcome self-hatred is to change your expectations. We live a society that values success, perfection, and achievement. It is easy to feel that we are not enough, that we are lacking, that we are unworthy if we do not meet these high standards. But not everyone needs to be a top-tier athlete, a leading scientist, a renowned artist, or a Nobel laureate to be worthy. Every person, regardless of their achievements or lack thereof, is inherently valuable and deserving of love and respect. Sometimes, it's enough to just be a kind person, good friend, or someone who tries their best. It's enough to be someone who listens, who cares, who helps others. It's enough to be someone who spreads kindness and love in a world that is often harsh and unforgiving. Positive affirmations also play a crucial role in combating self-hatred. These are powerful tools that can help you change your mindset and build self-confidence. By frequently repeating phrases like "I am enough," "I am worthy of love and respect," and "I am not defined by my mistakes," you can slowly reprogram your mindset. You can replace negative self-talk with positive self-talk, self-hatred with self-love. Remember, every time you repeat these affirmations, you're not just saying words. You are creating a new reality, a new image of yourself, a new perspective on life. You are not just changing your thoughts, but your feelings, your actions, your life, and this can make all the difference. You are not alone in this journey. You are not alone in your struggle. You are not the only one who has felt this way, who has experienced self-hatred. There are people who have walked this path before you, people who understand, people who can help. Self-hatred doesn't have to be a lonely battle. Reach out to others, seek help, share your experience. You don't have to face this alone. Remember, you are worthy. You are loved. You are enough. You have the strength to overcome self-hatred. You have the power to foster self-love. One can slowly reprogram their mindset and start to believe in their inherent value. In summary, self-hatred is a debilitating condition that has its roots deeply embedded in a variety of aspects, like past traumas that haunt the subconscious mind, societal pressures that constantly critique and attempt to mold us into a certain shape, or even the personal failures we encounter, which leave us devastated and questioning our worth. It's a condition that is far from rare, affecting countless individuals across the globe, across all races, genders, and ages. An invisible internal battle, self-hatred manifests in numerous destructive ways, leading to harmful mechanisms that have the potential to ruin lives. It could show as self-harming tendencies, unhealthy relationships with food, or an addiction to other harmful substances. These mechanisms, instead of providing comfort, only further catapult the person into a cycle of self-loathing. One of the most impactful aspects of self-hatred is the distorted self-image it induces. The mirror reflects back a person they fail to recognize, their mind fueling their insecurities and flaws, while conveniently overlooking their strengths and virtues. They see an illusion of themselves, a figment of their imagination, a version far from reality. However, there's hope. By lowering expectations, not the healthy ones, but the unrealistic ones we often burden ourselves with, we can start to alleviate the immense pressure that we inflict upon ourselves. It's about acceptance of our shortcomings and celebrating our strengths. It's about being kinder to ourselves. In addition to this, employing positive affirmations has proven to be a highly effective tool in this battle. Repeating phrases of self-love and acceptance gradually shifts the mental state from self-hatred to self-love. Positive affirmations are the mind's of rewiring its thought process, slowly but surely replacing the echoes of self-hatred with that of love and acceptance. The very fact that you clicked on this video proves that a part of you loves and wishes deeply to love you back. Remember, every step taken towards self-love, no matter how small, is a victory. These, of course, were thoughts on toast. A simple phrase, yet holding so much more within its subtle intonation and unassuming semantics. We often overlook the mundane, the everyday objects that slip into the background of our lives. Yet, it is within these simple, seemingly unimportant aspects of our day-to-day that we find the depth and richness of human existence. Toast, for instance, is not merely a piece of bread that has been subjected to heat. It is a transformation, a metamorphosis that parallels our own evolving existence. It brings forth the smell of early mornings, the crunch that resonates in your ears, the warmth that spreads in your belly. It is the comfort of a hot breakfast on a cold day, the rush of a quick bite before work, the love infused in every bite by a mother for her child. Similarly, thoughts are not just fleeting images or ideas that rush through our minds. They are the very fabric of our consciousness, the essence of our being. They are the silent whispers of our souls, the loud screams of our fears, the soft sighs of our desires. They often weave stories, tales of love, laughter, hope, and despair. Thoughts paint pictures, they sculpt shapes, they carve out realities. They are the light that guides us, the darkness that haunts us. Thoughts on Toast, then, is not just a random combination of words. It is a philosophy, a perspective, a way of looking at the world. It symbolizes the beauty in simplicity, the depth in mundanity, the stories hidden in the ordinary. It is a reminder of the constant interplay of the physical and the mental, the tangible and the intangible, the seen and the unseen. So when you come across the phrase, thoughts on toast, pause for a moment. Let it seep into your consciousness, let it pull at the strings of your curiosity, unravel its layers, delve into its depths. Because these, of course, were not just thoughts on toast,